Hey there! So you're looking for a dog trainer here in Jacksonville, North Carolina? Well, you've definitely come to the right place. We're going to walk through exactly how to find the perfect fit for you and your dog. All right, let's just get right to it. You know you need training for your dog, but it's not about just any training, right? It needs to be an approach that actually fits with your real life, right here in Jacksonville. So first up, let's talk about training for Jacksonville life. And, training a dog here is a little bit different than anywhere else. There are some local things that you really have to consider. And this really gets to the heart of it. Your dog needs training that actually works in these real situations. I mean, it's one thing to have a dog who behaves in a quiet room, but what about when you're actually out in the world? That's what really matters. Just think about your day-to-day. You've got the traffic on Western Boulevard, you've got frequent PCS moves if you're a military family with Camp Lejeune, which can be tough on a dog. Maybe you're in an apartment or base housing, which comes with its own set of challenges. And of course, we all want to enjoy the new river and the local beaches with our dogs. All of this stuff directly shapes the kind of skills your dog needs to learn. So, knowing all that, the next step is to define your training goals. We need to get really clear on what you're trying to achieve. What specific behaviors are you actually looking to improve? Maybe it's just the basics, a solid sit, stay, and come. Or maybe it's something a little more frustrating, like your arm getting pulled out of its socket every time you go for a walk, or your dog jumping all over every single person who comes to the door. It could even be bigger stuff, like separation anxiety or your dog being fearful. Nailing down your main challenges is going to be key to finding a trainer who can really help. Now let's think about the format. You've got a couple of main choices here. Group classes are fantastic for getting your dog used to other dogs, and they're often a bit easier on the wallet. But on the other hand, in-home training is completely customized to your schedule, which for busy military families can be a huge plus. And you get to tackle the problems right where they actually happen, like in your own living room or your front yard. All right, so you know your goals, and you've got an idea of the format you prefer. Now for the really important part, choosing your trainer. How do you actually vet and pick a great professional? Okay, first things first, and this is a big one. Look for a trainer who uses positive reinforcement. This is the modern standard, plain and simple. It's all about teaching your dog what you want them to do and then rewarding them for it. It's incredibly effective, it's humane, and honestly, it just helps you build a much stronger, more trusting relationship with your dog. Now, this is something you absolutely have to know. Look at that note at the bottom. North Carolina does not require any kind of state license for dog trainers. That means literally anybody can print up some business cards and call themselves a trainer. That's why these professional certifications are so important. They're your proof that a person has actually gone through extensive education and testing on their skills and knowledge. So once you're looking at certified trainers, let's talk about the cost. For a single private lesson here in Jacksonville, you can generally expect to pay somewhere in this $90 to $160 range. And here's the bigger picture. A group class that goes for 4 to 6 weeks might run you a couple $100s. Puppy programs are often in that same ballpark. Then you get to the more intensive options like a board and train, where your dog stays with a trainer for a few weeks. And as you can see, that's a much larger investment. This should give you a good baseline for what to budget. Okay, so you've found a few potential trainers who look good on paper. Now it's time to actually talk to them. So here are the key questions you need to ask. Think of this as your personal checklist for that phone call. First, what training methods and tools do you use? You're listening for positive reinforcement. Second, what are your certifications? Make sure they have some. Third, how will you customize the plan for my dog and my goals? You don't want a one-size-fits-all approach. And finally, you want to know how you'll measure progress and exactly what's included in their pricing. Getting clear answers to these will prevent any surprises. So once you've hired your trainer and the training starts, the work doesn't just stop at the end of the session. The real progress happens when you take those skills and practice them out in the real world. So where do you practice? Well, a controlled spot like the Onslow Pines Dag Park is an ideal place to start. It's fenced in, which makes it perfect for safely working on recall, getting your dog to come when called, without the risk of them running off. When you're ready for more of a challenge, the Jacksonville Commons or the Riverwalk are just perfect. This is where you can practice walking politely on a leash with all kinds of real-world distractions going by. Other people, bikes, strollers, the whole thing. For a totally different kind of test, a place like Hammocks Beach State Park is great because it introduces all sorts of new smells and sounds. It's a fantastic next step for proofing your dog's leash skills. Just remember to always follow the posted pet rules wherever you go. And for an even higher level of difficulty, the trails out in the Croatan National Forest are excellent. If you can practice focus and obedience there with all the natural distractions like wildlife, you'll know your training has really solidified. Ultimately, this is why it all matters. Investing the time to find the right trainer and do the work pays off everywhere. It means you'll have calmer walks around your neighborhood, less stress when you have guests over, and just the freedom to include your dog in more parts of your life. Good luck, and I hope you get to enjoy all the great things Jacksonville has to offer with your well-behaved companion.